Good morning. It's a beautiful November morning here in the teaching garden at the Benedictine Monastery in Bristow, Virginia. We're going to lay out a new garden bed, and one thing you want to be sure of doing when you lay out a garden bed, selecting a location, is to make sure you have plenty of sunshine. All the vegetables we're growing want about at least 6 hours of sunshine, ideally between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. This spot right here is going to do well in that regard, and we're going to remove the sod. We're going to dig deeply and amend heavily with compost in a tradition of building a good, sustainable organic garden. And Jean and Amy and I are going to show you how to do that. First, to get parallel sides and square corners, we're going to use a little simple geometry. We're going to lay out an area that's 4 feet wide by 6 feet long. So we can put the first stake in the ground and use that then as a reference point. And we're going to measure straight across here, 4 feet. And now we're going to start the double digging process. And the tools we have for that, there's a garden fork. That's a 4-tine fork, very strong tines. The next thing is a spade. It's a very long-handled spade, so you can get lots of leverage. The third standard tool is the bow rake. You can see the shape of the bow in this pulled back area here, and it has the sharp, short tines on it for breaking up soil. If we get into trouble and the soil's really tough, there are two tools that are going to help us out here, the mattock and the digging bar. And we'll put on safety glasses if we have to use those. If the soil's loose enough, we won't have to use those. The next thing is we need this digging board. This is 5/8 inch exterior plywood, cut 2 feet wide, 4 feet long. Nothing special about it, but since it's exterior, it's not going to deteriorate very quickly. This one's had about 5 years of use. When we have to stand in the bed at all, we'll always use this board to distribute our weight across it so that we're not compacting the soil. And then the next thing we'll need is plenty of compost. We use our own homemade compost from vegetative materials we gather on this area and compost over in the processing center. It's a really great process, and it's the best food we can provide for the plants. You want to do about 200 pounds per 100 square feet of bed area. And as a convenient measure of weight, this 5-gallon bucket will hold about 20 pounds of compost. We're doing an area about 25 square feet. We want about 50 pounds, so about 2.5 of these buckets at a minimum the first time we double dig that area. We're going to put about 1 inch or 2 of compost over the top of the area that we're going to dig. Amy, you want to put that compost in place now? There's nothing very exacting about this, but we just want to get a nice good cover on top of this, and all the compost that's up then is going to work its way down into all the cracks and crevices that we make as we till this soil. So we're ready to begin the second phase of this first trench, which is adding compost. We're going to put another inch or so of compost on top of this trench, and then we're going to take the garden fork and go down another 12 inches, cracking the soil, lifting it up, breaking it up, removing rocks, and preparing a 24-inch root bed. Now Gene's going to go the next 12 inches in this first trench. That compost that we added is going to work its way down into the soil. Of course, any rocks or roots or hard matter that we find, we'll remove those.